Trivia time, Alana. What's the one thing that is faster and happened quicker than it took for Threads to grow to 10 million users?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No, I don't.
Here's the answer. Every person on Facebook to give me their unsolicited opinion about Threads. Has anybody noticed that? I've heard way more about Threads from people who have never used Threads than from Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Instagram, all these people combined.
Yeah. Everyone wants to add their 2 cents about Threads.
Everybody wants to tell me why social media is out of control. Oh no, another platform. Hey,
Yeah.
maybe they're right. I can't tell them they're wrong.
I mean, maybe. I think ultimately people just are afraid of new things.
I think, yeah, and people just want to be heard.
Yeah.
Deep down, we're all just little tiny children in adult bodies that want people to listen to us talk.
Yeah.
Isn't that it? Isn't that it?
But I mean, if you want that, why don't you just start a podcast?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways,
yeah, so we're talking about Threads today.
We'll talk about Threads today. We'll give our unsolicited opinion about Threads to the audience.
Exactly.
Boom. Take that.
Take that.
Yeah. And spoiler, everybody, I don't think social media is evil. And brace yourselves. If you're driving, maybe pull over for this next statement, this hot take, this controversial opinion. I don't think social media is toxic. Threads included.
Yeah.
I think you get from social media what you subconsciously seek on social media.
Yeah.
And if you seek the good stuff, there's lots of it on social media. Tons.
Yeah. And the thing is like no one's forcing you to join Threads.
Actually, with the exception of our audience, who by legal binding contract, if you've listened this far into the episode, you must install Threads. Otherwise, your smartphone will self-destruct. You have 1 hour. Anyways, so we're going to talk about Threads today. No offense to everybody if you already voiced your opinion about Threads on social media, which you probably did because literally everybody has. But you know what? That's not really surprising. It's been in the news. It's a new thing. Of course, people are going to talk about it. And that's what we're doing. Look.
We're doing it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Here we are.
Topical. Why not?
So did you install it? Do you have it?
I have it. Yeah. I installed it. I think I'm like 500 million user or something like that.
500 million. Whoa, late to the party. I was in the first 1 million. I'm in the 900,000s.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. Early adopter.
I'm 5,180,906.
Wow. Really late to the party.
I was late to the party.
I was 911,652.
Cool. So I learned recently that you could download it before it was even available. And then whoever downloaded it before it was available got a notification when it went live. Were you part of those people or did you join after it went live?
I wasn't able to download the app before it went live, but I was able to go into the App Store and like add myself to the queue.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
That notification when the app could be downloaded. But I think because I have the majority of my notifications on my smartphone disabled, I didn't see the notification. So what happened was I think I saw somebody like post that they had Threads. And then I like manually checked and I was able to download it and start using it.
Got it.
And I did. Cool. I'm on there. People at Ryan Montes NLP on Threads. Go read my things that I write.
Go read your threads.
Go read my things.
Yeah, I'm on there too. And I'm pretty sure I'm the same name that I am on, Alana Banks Coaching.
Yeah.
Threads.net.
Yeah.
I already have 274 followers.
I've got 655, Alana.
Oh, wow. You're so popular, Ryan.
Very, exceedingly popular, I guess.
So what are your thoughts initially?
It's fine. It's another good quality social media platform that we have to work with, to use.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, I think it's kind of fun. I mean, I like to write, and I honestly was never a Twitter person. Like, I had Twitter when it started back in the day, and I used Twitter more when I was working in the corporate world, but then it just kind of fell by the wayside for me. But I'm kind of excited about this new app, but I'm just sort of like in the observing phase right now, where I'm just kind of like seeing what people are writing, seeing how people are using it. And in my mind, I'm waiting for that moment where I'm like, that's what I'm going to focus on. That's what I'm going to write about every day. Or that's the information I'm going to share using this app. Because I really don't want it to be just like the way I use Facebook and Instagram right now is just like, what I post on Instagram, I basically post on Facebook as well. I don't want to do that with Threads. I want it to be totally different, but like still in the same vein of like, my niche and what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm in the observing mode right now.
By the way, what is Threads? What's the diff?
Yeah, what is Threads?
A lot of people.
Well, in my mind, it's Twitter, but just a different platform of Twitter. It's like a platform with no visuals. It actually has been bothering me when people have been posting visuals in the thread.
Yeah, you're like, what are you doing?
Don't do that here. If you want to do that, go to Instagram.
This is for tech. And well, so that's the thing. So for those that don't know, all social media platforms have a primary media that is the main thing. And 6-7 years ago, Instagram, the primary media was a square photo.
Yeah.
That was the name of the game, square photo, and that was it. You could have a caption. On Snapchat, the primary media was disappearing photo messages. It was disappearing photo messages. And now they have something very similar to stories in Snapchat. TikTok has been the same since it started. The primary media is short form vertical video content, right? Facebook, the primary media is a combination, photo and text on a timeline kind of aggregate thing. But when it started out, like those status updates were like really big, right?
Yeah.
And so here's what it is. Here's what Threads is. Threads is a social media platform where the primary media is writing, is text. That's it. Another one that is very similar where the primary media is writing or text is Twitter, and Twitter's been around for quite a long time.
Yeah.
Right. That's it, folks.
That's
Pack it up. Go home. You found out what is Threads. It's just another social media platform where the primary media is text.
Yeah, but I think why everyone is up in arms about this is because it's so similar to Twitter.
Controversy. It's the same as Twitter.
It's the same as Twitter. So they're like, how dare you? We can't have two Twitters, because up until this point, really, there's been a monopoly on each social media platform in a way, right? Like Instagram was photos, TikTok is video, Facebook was like status updates. And so now I think it's more around how dare someone create a social media platform that's exactly the same as one that's already existing. But I think like, why not? We have so much room in this world to have multiple platforms. And the thing is like Twitter has already carved out a very significant niche for itself in terms of like what you use that platform for. And, it's got a very different feel than Threads already. Threads to me seems more creative, and Twitter for me is more business. Like it's more of a business thing. You go there to get your news, you go there to get like your stock, whatever people look for in the stock market. You go there to get like scores, news, current events, political opinions on things, which is kind of why I dropped off, because that's not me. Like I'm not interested in that.
Yeah.
Right.
I think the belief that that's what Twitter is about is not unfounded. And I think that's why a lot of people find it a polarizing platform.
Yeah.
And I also think that there's also everything on Twitter. They have, I think, 700 million users, something like that.
No,
You know,
I think
is it less now, more now?
it's less.
around
I think that it's 300 million.
down to 300 million. Okay.
Yeah.
Either way, that's a lot of human beings using one platform. That's the entire population of the United States. That's 10 times the population of Canada where we live, right? That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And so like somebody like me who I'm not highly interested in other people's political opinions. In fact, I'm very disinterested in other people's political opinions for the most part. But I'm interested in business, entrepreneurship, positive mindset, growth, personal development. And that stuff is all on Twitter. Like when I started using Twitter, which was actually just a few weeks ago, and Twitter as part of the like account creation process was like, hey Ryan, what do you like? What do you want to see? I told it and I got a ton of that. And I got nothing even remotely that I was disinterested in, right? So I think Twitter, like any major social media platform, you know, you'll get what you seek.
You will. But here's my take on it. It's more like Twitter's been around for like 10 years, right? And so the people who were the early adopters of Twitter and who are still using Twitter, hardcore Twitter users, like a decade later, those people are not going anywhere. Those people are not going to like jump out of Twitter and all of a sudden join Threads and like leave Twitter in the dust, right?
Yeah.
What Threads is doing is giving an opportunity for people who didn't really adopt Twitter, don't understand Twitter, weren't around really when Twitter started. And so this is giving them an opportunity to jump on the Twitter bandwagon, but in a platform that allows them to bring their community over from Instagram and, you know, try out the kind of like written content format in addition to whatever they're doing on Instagram. So like this whole idea of like Threads is going to take over Twitter and the Zuckerberg versus Elon type of thing, I don't think that it really matters, because the thing is it's just creating more of a market for Twitter for people who probably were never going to go onto Twitter in the first place. Right?
Yeah.
And Meta's just kind of created an opportunity for people who may have been interested in Twitter when it came out, you know, a decade ago, but they weren't like available for that because they were maybe teenagers or kids or, you know, not interested.
Yeah.
And then there's people like me who did join Twitter when it came out, but I was in a completely different era of my life. So my news feed on Twitter, or whatever you call it, my Twitter feed is like all news and like all the major news publications and broadcast channels, because I used it for work when I was working in public relations. And so I wanted to be up on all the trends and all the news cycles and what was happening so that I could jump on it for my clients, right? So when I go onto my Twitter feed now, I'm like, I'm not interested. Like, it's almost like I have to burn the whole thing down and start from scratch. Why don't I just do that on Threads?
Yeah.
Right?
Cool. All right. Got it.
Got it.
Calm down, Alana. Jeez.
God, I know.
Like one of those Twitter users.
Got heated.
Getting all worked up.
The other thing, doing research for this episode, I learned from many people is like, people think Twitter is negative, like a very negative space. Whereas like, from what I am understanding with Threads, it's a very positive, empowering space.
Yeah. I really have to say, I think that's a matter of perspective.
Could be. Yeah.
Because I made a post. I didn't even know Threads was coming, and I just, by coincidence, like 2 weeks before Threads dropped, I started a Twitter account because I wanted to try this text forward social media platform format. And I made a post on Facebook being like, "Do you have Twitter? Do you like it?" And then a majority of people were like, "I used to have it. It was too negative. It was too toxic. It was too this. It was too this, too that." And I was like, all right, I'm not going to argue that that was your experience. If that was your experience, that was your experience. And to be fair, I'm, not to toot my own horn, but I guess I'm an advanced social media user. If I don't want to see something in my feed, it's not going to be there. Yeah. I will take that control. So maybe if I were to look at it from the point of view of an average social media user who doesn't make their living, largely out of being on social media, maybe it is harder to avoid the toxicity or the negativity. Maybe it is.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, because I'm not a Twitter person, like I haven't used it in probably 8 years. But from what I'm learning through like just listening and reading stuff is that it's not so much the content. It's more the comments, I guess, or retweets and the way people respond to tweets that's very negative. Whereas Threads seems to be fairly positive, and people are like, it's like, people are happy to be there and are trying to share. And it could also just be the demographic of people that are attracted to Threads. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Right. But like, how Gary Vee is sort of like this very positive person that's always shining a light and talking about being kind and really promoting being kind, like that is sort of the air of Threads.
Yeah.
From what I'm understanding is like people's interpretation of what's going on that platform at the moment.
Yeah.
But again, could totally be based off of who you're following, right?
Yeah. What's something you like about Threads?
I don't know yet. Honestly, like number one, I like the fact that you can just bring your whole community over. Like it was so easy to set up. Like I just downloaded the app and then it like sucked in my Instagram information and then it was done. Like I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to write a profile. I didn't have to like upload a photo. I didn't have to go and find friends. Like it was just like, boom, here you go. Like I started off with, I think like 150 followers right off the bat.
Yeah.
So I like that about it. Like it's so easy to just give it a try if you want to like see what it's all about.
Yeah.
And, I'm fairly savvy when it comes to social media. So immediately, working within the platform is very user friendly and easy to figure out. So I like that. What about you?
I do like that. Yeah, I agree. They made the integration process really smooth.
Yeah.
So that if you're already an Instagram user, you can get your Threads account going really a couple of clicks and you're good and you're done. That was a good implementation. So good move on their part.
Yeah.
I like the simplicity, which is the reason I like Instagram. Instagram is one of the more, for such a powerful platform with such a wide user base, it's also relatively simple and straightforward. And Threads is even more simple and more straightforward with an ever-growing user base. And it's just text. Like you can make your content. You don't have to do graphic design. You don't have to do video editing. You don't have to, get yourself on whatever that is for you. You just open the app. If you got something to say it in text, hit post, and it's done. Right. And people can like it. People can comment. People can share it, whatever. I like that. Simplicity is good. Right. And it's
I agree.
Vibrant. It's active already. There's people on there moving and shaking.
Major. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think and I think everyone is kind of figuring out how to use it and what they want to do. Like it reminds me of like the early days of Facebook where we were like, what do I write? I don't know what to write.
Yeah.
How am I making my mark on here? How am I going to, use it? I think for people who are writers, I think this is a nice platform for people who, and I don't mean writers like just people who like to write, but I mean people who that's their living is writing. Yeah. I think that they're going to adopt this and like make it a space for themselves. Like I don't really see it as a place to sell. Like, I'm not getting that vibe. Like, I feel like it's more community building and like idea sharing rather than like Instagram, I feel like has become very salesy. And that's partly because of all the people that I follow. But,
yeah,
I don't know. I don't see that coming through with Threads so much.
I have noticed some people in threads saying like, Instagram is where people can get to know your expertise and your products and your services, and threads is where they can get to know your personality and your like
Yeah.
human side. I think that's very much an opinion. Um, Maybe it's true. Maybe that is happening. There's no rules, ladies and gentlemen and people. There's no rules on how you use a social media platform,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
Use it however you want. If you
Yeah.
want it to be that, sure. But
Yeah.
I mean, is it? I know that you can use Threads as a sales platform because any platform that you can use for communication, you can use for sales, you can use for rapport building, you can use for lead generation, you can use for artistic creativity, you can use just to spread a positive message with no business behind it whatsoever. Any of these you can use for anything. And I think that information frustrates people because a lot of us deep down, we just want somebody to be like, here's what you got to do,
Yeah.
go do this
Yeah.
so your life is easier. And that, rarely is that the case in life.
Yeah.
There's only one way to use something or only one way to do something. And Threads is another example of
Yeah.
that.
Well, it's a blank canvas right now, right?
Yeah.
Like it's open to interpretation. Like, how do you want to show off your creativity? Um, like, one thing that I don't think you should do on this platform is start copying other people, like really sit down and think like, okay, how do I want to show up in this new space, right? Because it's like a clean slate for everybody. Like even for people who had, you know, hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram, like they're also starting from not scratch because they're able to bring their community over, but it's a new opportunity. And it won't be long before we all, we have threads gurus and thread strategists and all this stuff coming out of the woodwork. But
if anybody wants to sign up for my 12-week Threads master coaching program, it's $18,000. You can split it into one equal payment. And no, I'm just kidding. But that'll be soon.
It's coming.
But,
it's happening.
But you know what? It's not actually, like there was a lot of people who were making fun of how fast courses for ChatGPT and like coaching for ChatGPT came out.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing, like for somebody who's tech savvy and stays up on technology, or somebody who stays up on social media, you can be an expert in these things and help other people who don't have the level of understanding you do right off the bat.
Yeah.
Right off the bat. I didn't charge for it. And I do free, AI coaching and ChatGPT coaching in my membership, my social media membership that I have now. And people get value from it because I'm a little bit ahead of students when it comes to using this stuff. And there's going to be people who start advertising how to use Threads and how to use, and come join my Threads challenge and whatever. And they're going to get heat because it's so new. And how can you be an expert in something so fast? And I think that heat is totally unfounded because, it's 2023. We're moving quick these days. Technology moves quick. Understanding, training needs to move quick with it. So don't be surprised when Alana, don't be surprised when I offer my 12-week Threads intensive.
Oh, I'm not going to be surprised. I'm not going to be surprised.
Poo-poo on me.
There's going to be a lot of them. They're coming next month. It's happening. Maybe it'll be me. Maybe I'm just going to like shift my whole business strategy and I'm just going to become a Threads expert.
Threads expert. It's going to be, somebody's going to post that meme of the guy and it's like winter and he's like holding his stick or a sword and it's like, brace yourselves. The Threads gurus are coming. Right? I'm predicting that meme.
Did you know that Twitter is only down 5%? And everybody's like all stressed out about how, Twitter's being taken over, but it's really not down that bad.
Down,
if anyone was worried
5% of like stock price, down 5%.
No, usage.
Usage.
Yeah.
5% fluctuation.
Nothing, right?
Yeah, no big deal.
No big deal. Where do we want to go from here?
3 things we don't like about Threads.
Oh, 3 things we don't like. 3 things we don't like. Well, there's no inbox.
Oh yeah, there's no DM.
So you can't message. You can't direct message anybody. Yeah.
That's interesting.
That is interesting. Yeah, I'm sure it's coming, but
Well, you know what? I think it really is designed to be complementary to Instagram and vice versa,
yeah,
right? So I think they're not necessarily trying to cater to people who want to have a Threads account but not have an Instagram account. It's
yeah,
more to cater to people who have Instagram, like Instagram, and now have added Threads. And if that's you, and that is me, I don't want to have two parallel inboxes, one on
true.
Threads
Yeah,
and one on Instagram. I actually would prefer it the way it is because I don't want the added confusion and effort required to juggle conversations with the same people on two sister platforms.
yeah, agreed. But I'm wondering, do you have to have Instagram to have Threads? You don't, right?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Probably.
I don't know either.
I think you do need to have.
Yeah, I think you do. So that's
I'm not
probably
sure.
why.
I'm not sure. Let me
Yeah, I'm not.
text Mark Zuckerberg really quick and ask him.
Because then that would make sense why there is no inbox because they're just thinking, oh, well, you're on Instagram. So you've got your inbox on Instagram, and this is just a complementary platform to Instagram, right?
Oh, I just looked it up. Or I mean, I just heard back from the Zuck. He
Yeah,
says Threads requires users to have an Instagram account.
there we go. Yeah.
So there you go. So I
So I
think they
guess that's a bit of a negative because what if you're like, I don't want an Instagram account, but I want to check out this Threads thing? Well, then I guess you got to go to Twitter.
that's a negative for some people, but I get it. I get it. Meta and Zuckerberg. I get why
Yeah.
you would do that. I get it.
Yeah. So that's one kind of negative. There's no desktop app. So if you're like a boomer,
Yeah.
like the kids call us, um, then you're kind of out of luck. You got to use it on your phone. You can't use it anywhere but your phone.
Yeah, that I would say is a drawback. I like to have a desktop app for
Yeah.
a social media platform, even if I don't always use it. I just like to have the option. And you don't. There you can view people's posted threads via the desktop app. If you first go to their Instagram account and then click into Threads from there, but you can't just go to threads.net and like log
Yeah.
in, see your
Yeah.
feed.
Yeah. Like you can't really interact with the app if you're not on your phone.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
that could be like a bit of a downer for some people.
Yeah, that's a downer. That's a downer for sure. I agree.
What else?
I don't know. I'm trying
I
to
don't
think
know
if
if
there's
there's
anything
really.
I personally don't like about Threads. There's really not. The thing that I like least about Threads is the thing that I mentioned at the top of the episode, just like people using it as an excuse to complain about another thing and
Yeah.
to like, oh, look, the world's going to hell in a handbasket because there's one more social media platform that clearly there was a huge demand for.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is just the beginning of more of this. I think that heyday of there being a monopoly on, different social media platforms is going to end. And we're going to start to see more and more cloned social media platforms. And then people are going to kind of find their platform.
Yeah.
That they're really into. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
Based off of like zero evidence. Yeah. But I just feel like we're on our way. Just especially with AI technology being here, like I think there's just more opportunity for people to get creative and create these sort of niche platforms that are going to be very specific to different industries, different interests, different demographics. Right? Like kind of like Snapchat. Like when Snapchat started, it was there was a lot of people on Snapchat. Whereas now it's like the kids are using Snapchat to talk to their friends.
Yeah.
Right? And that just sort of happened organically.
Yeah.
So I think like these new platforms are going to start popping up and it's just going to organically kind of become these little niche segments.
Yeah. I gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of excited to see where things go with Threads. Like it's cool, but I mean, I'm looking through my feed right now. Like, stop posting photos in Threads.
You should write a mean comment on those photos. You should be
No.
that toxic, negative person
No.
and be like, just so you know, it's ideal if you maintain a ratio of 5 text posts to 1 image post on Threads.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Maybe.
Anyways,
Oh, there's
so
you. I just scrolled by you.
there's
Most
me.
people's learning doing ratio equals 1,000 plus 1.
Yeah, the wording of that thread was kind of awkward. Only 2 people liked it, 2 or 3 people liked it. Basically, what I was saying is most people are like get sucked into the trap of procrastination by education, where they learn, and then they don't execute, especially in running their businesses or being an entrepreneur or being a coach. And
Yeah.
like the people who are making money and actually getting clients are the ones who learn something and apply it immediately and use it and do it.
Yeah.
And
True.
learn, apply it. And anyways, that's what that thread was about.
Yeah,
But
maybe your thread should have just been stop the procrastination by education. Boom.
boom,
Done.
boom. You should write that in a comment on my thread and be like, maybe this would have been better if it just said like, come on, get that sassy ball rolling on Threads.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So
Maybe
audience,
that's going to be my new thing.
that's your new thing. Yeah. Sassy thread replies. Audience, I want you to reach out to me and let me know why I'm wrong. And all social media is evil and toxic. And it's not just that you get what you engage with. That couldn't possibly be it. Send me your complaints. Send me your toxic negativity. Or no, don't send me that.
No.
I will block you immediately for that. But do send us your thoughts on Threads. Are you using it? Are you not using it? Do you want me to follow you on Threads? I will if you follow me. I would love to. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is early. It's too early to say, what we like about it, what we love about it. I think it's a good platform. I think the execution so far is good. I think it has very high potential. I think it's a good way to connect with people. And I think, like any social media platform, if you bring a positive attitude to it and you use it in a way that connects you with the good out there, and there's tons of good out there, there's lots of benefit to be had from it.
Yeah, there is. Great. Yeah. So send us your messages. Let us know if you're on Threads. Follow me on Threads. Follow Ryan on Threads. Let's have a thread party. I mean, I kind of wish I still had my fabric store, because this would have been like a really cool way to like weave in some interesting fabric humor into my content.
All the pun opportunities. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Too bad.
I mean, that ship has sailed, but it's so good.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's it for this one. Let us know your thoughts on Threads. I do suggest you try it. Follow me on there. Follow Alana on there. Especially, this is the coaching podcast. This is the No Excuses podcast. This is the social media season. It'll be the way that you love connecting with your clients. Maybe it'll be the place. Everybody's got a place, and if you haven't found yours yet, maybe it's it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and that's one thing I did want to bring up is like, yes, because this is a coaching podcast, use this as an opportunity to create a mark for yourself, right? Like, or create a new community or find new people that would be interested in your coaching. If like Instagram hasn't been your thing, maybe Threads is it. Threads is where you're going to explode. And, I find it like, especially for Twitter too, like if you have a really witty sense of humor, or you're really good at like one-liners, this is an amazing platform for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. And on that note, if you want to get better at social media and make your life easier, you should join the Simple Social Sanctuary with Ryan Montes at ryanmontes.com.
Yeah.
Having a great time over there.
Yeah, it's a great time. And if you want to learn more about yourself and uncovering maybe if you should or shouldn't use Threads, book a palm reading with me and I'll tell you.
Yeah. Yeah. 9 out of 10 palms agree the Simple Social Sanctuary is where you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that? It rhymed.
That was a nice poem. You should put that on Threads.
They won't appreciate it. They won't get it.
Also, in November, I've got a retreat coming up where we're going to have tons of fun for 3 days. And you're going to be totally pampered and coached by me, yours truly, Alana Banks. We're going to have lots of fun together. And I take care of everything from the moment you get there to the moment you leave. It's an opportunity for you to just look after you and do a bunch of personal development work and find out lots of interesting things about yourself and discover stuff that's holding you back. So message me if you're interested. But I have a landing page that's going to be going out soon.
Cool.
Yeah.
Love it. All right.
Okay. Well, that's it. This is the Threads episode. Hope you enjoyed it.
This was the Threads episode.
And we'll see you next time, or we'll talk to you next time. Bye.